Good morning, everyone. So please put your hands together in Gasho. The Buddhas of Oriole is as broad as 100 kotis of triple sun great southern world. Within this aureole, there are transformed Buddhas as numerous as million kotis of Naitas, multiplied by the number of sons of the Ganges. Each of these Buddhas is attained by the great assembly of countless transformed bodhisattvas. Namandavts, 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 namandavts. Again, good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending Berkeley Buddhist Temple annual Pet Memorial Service. As we've just watched a slideshow, we are observing today's service to show our appreciation and gratitude to our pets that came across our lives and enriched our everyday lives with their presence. So by the way, the passage at the end of slideshow was composed by Kiran. Thank you, Kiki, for a nice passage. So speaking of pets, I don't have any at this moment right now, but I have 3 boys, and then that's enough. But I used to have goldfish when I was an elementary school boy. I got the first one at the street festival. In Japan, there is a game called Kingyo Sukui. So there are many goldfish in this big pool. And then using a small plastic stick with a paper net, and we catch goldfish. Some people are good at catching goldfish without breaking paper net, but for many of us, including myself, it is difficult. When I got the first one, I was really happy. And then that was my first pet. And then after that, I bought some more at the pet shop and then added them to a fish tank. It was fun to feed them. I pinched a small portion of fish food and then sprinkled them in a fish tank. Then goldfish gathered, and then they ate fish food. It was also fun just to watch goldfish in a fish tank. I no longer enjoy it very much, but most kids enjoy just watching goldfish in a fish tank. And so did I. But most of us know to have a pet is not always fun. For example, goldfish. We need to wash a fish tank and change water occasionally. For me, as an elementary school kid, it was a big deal. Although there is only one fun part, which was to catch goldfish with a net before changing water. The rest was hard. Using a manual pump, I drained water to a bucket. And then when a bucket got full, I took a heavy bucket to a bathtub and then drained the water, and then came back to fish tank. So I had 5-6 trips between fish tank and bathtub. After draining water, the next thing is to clean filters and wash fish tank, and also rocks and sands at the bottom, and then small object as well. So once I clean and wash them, I put everything back to a clean fish tank and then put the new water. There is another round of catching goldfish to bring them back to a clean fish tank, but by then I got really tired and I couldn't enjoy the second round very much. So it usually took 2-3 hours to wash fish tank and then change water. To have pets is fun, but at the same time, we have to be responsible for taking care of other lives, right? Taking care of other lives. In that sense, responsibility is one of the virtues that we can cultivate by having pets. Patience is another virtue that we could cultivate. So speaking of like a human-to-human communication, since we have a language, we can communicate each other smoothly or in detail. But how about the communication between human and animals? Some people are good at communicating with animals, but most of us don't have a common language to communicate with animals. So we have to be patient. And then we should pay attention or try to be mindful of what they want to say or what they want to do. And I believe they are very important things in communicating with other people in our everyday life. And now, let me add Dana, one of the 6 parameters to what we can learn from our pets. As I said, it took a couple hours to clean the fish tank and then change water. Right? But I have never heard thank you from my goldfish. Right? After bringing them back to a freshwater clean fish tank, and then they start swimming as if nothing had happened. Although they might have said thank you in the water, in a fish tank, but at least I couldn't hear that. Then what is Dana? Sometimes Dana is translated as selfless giving, right? Which means we help people or even animals without expecting any rewards, returns, or words of appreciation. I know this is really difficult, right? When we do something for other people, others, if we don't hear thank you or whatever words of appreciation, I'm sure most of us feel uncomfortable or even get upset. By taking care of pets, we could learn what the Dana really means. The last and most important lesson that we can learn, we can receive from our pets is the reality of life. That is, all lives end someday. Today, we are here to remember and extend our gratitude to our pets that passed away before us. But we should be also reminded this occasion, this service is a precious gift from them for each of us to deeply think of our lives or become aware of the truth of impermanence. In Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, different from other Buddhist traditions, funeral, memorial services are not for the deceased, but for us still living in this impermanent world. We know the teaching of impermanence may be here. However, since our minds are covered by the darkness of our ignorance, it is really difficult to see or take the truth of impermanence seriously here at our heart. Therefore, when we encounter the reality of impermanence. Many of us get stressed or suffer from anxiety or even fear. So to reduce our spiritual or psychological burdens, Amida Buddha compassionately established a path. Once we end this life, we attain birth in Pure Land, in the Pure Land, Buddha's land, and then we become a Buddha, enlightened one. And as a Buddha, we will start a new life to guide those still suffering and having hardship in this samsara, this Saha world. Amida Buddha's path teaching gives us a strength to deal with or even overcome the anxiety or fear of the end of our lives, or the sorrow of separation from our loved ones. Amida Buddha's guidance or teaching is compared to light. All Buddhas and then Bodhisattvas compassionately try to share this light with us by taking various forms, transforming themselves in many different things. Since your pets have brought you to this, Buddhist memorial service, and then provide a chance to listen to the Dharma today, in that sense, I'd say they are working as a Buddhas or Bodhisattvas. So let us be mindful of all the guidance and the compassion directed from Buddhas and then Bodhisattvas, and then live a meaningful and then fruitful life by deeply listening to the Dharma. Again, thank you very much for attending today's service. I'd like to close my Dharma message by reading the passage from Contemplation Sutra one more time. The Buddha's oil is as broad as 100 codis of the triple sound, great thousand words. Within this oil, there are transformed Buddhas as numerous as a million codis of Naita, multiplied by the number of sons of the Ganges. Each of these Buddhas is attained by great assembly of countless transformed Bodhisattvas. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Again, thank you very much for attending today's service. Please take care and then see you next week.